The following broadcast may contain explicit language and adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. The opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the hosts, talent, and guests, and do not reflect the opinions, views, and standards of Pyromedia Enterprises, affiliates, subsidiaries, or its members.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Daryl Walter Show. I am your melanated host, Daryl Walter, and I want to welcome you all to the best show, in my opinion. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hope everybody is having a great week. How y'all doing out there? Listen, I missed y'all. It's been a week. We have a lot to cover. There's a lot I want to talk about. But before we do that, I know you're coming in. Do me a favor, click like, click share, tag somebody in this. Shout out to Enos. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I missed and loved y'all. Welcome to the Daryl Walter Show, and I am your host. How y'all doing out there? Listen, how is everybody doing out there? I'm having a great week. Let me just share. I am 45 days alcohol free. If you follow my social media, you know I've been talking about changing my life, growing and getting better. And it's not something I would normally talk about, but I hope in me sharing my story that it encourages someone else out there, that it inspires someone else out there to make the change that you've always wanted to make the change that maybe you thought was impossible to make. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. So I hope everybody's having a good week. If you're not, listen, it's not too late to do something about it, all right? Today, we are going to talk about Black men and mental health. I am going to give you my commentary. Thank you, King. Thank you so much for following me. I really appreciate the love and support. And y'all make sure, shout out to my Pyromedia family, make sure you go and support Kwame. He is an entrepreneur and he has amazing smelling candles. All right, so go support that. Listen, let's do this. I want to get into what went viral this week. There's so much going on, but I picked a few topics that I want to give my commentary on because I believe they open up dialogue to open and beautiful conversation. All right. So let's just get straight into it. Real Housewives of Atlanta, former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kim Zolciak Biermann and Kroy Biermann have called it quits after 11 years of marriage. And we have a little clip of that. Let's play that clip from TMZ.
The marriage is over between Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann. She has filed for divorce. She is pulling the plug on their 11-year marriage. There were rumblings about this for a while, that things were on the rocks. But now she has pulled the trigger and she has filed for divorce.
And this is especially telling because just earlier this morning, we published yet another story about Kim and Kroy and their financial trouble. They owe the IRS upwards of $1 million, $1.1 million, in fact, in unpaid taxes, fines, fees, etc. And on top of that, they owe the state of Georgia separate taxes. I think $15,000 worth is what we had. So they're kind of in some financial trouble, it seems.
And yeah, just because, you look at it and say, well, it's taxes. Well, it's not taxes. It usually reflects a bigger issue, which is financial trouble. Financial trouble torpedoes lots of relationships.
Financial troubles, torpedoes, lots of relationships. Go ahead and take that clip down. Put me back on the screen because I want to ask y'all a serious question. Because a lot of you are saying, well, Daryl, what does that have to do with me? What does Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann have to do with me? And really the reality is directly, probably nothing. But let's ask ourselves this question. Many times we want a relationship. We want to get married. But have we really sat down and broken down the reasons that we want to get married or get into a relationship? Or have you been in a situation where somebody got with you and it wasn't because of who you are, but it's because of what you have? Now, I'm not saying Kim Zolciak is a gold digger, but I need you to look to your neighbor and finish the sentence. All right? And a lot of times, this got me to thinking, because they were together for 11 years. 11 good years. But then, tardy for the party, went tardy. The Real Housewives money dried up. Kroy's living off the pension. I suspect, and I'm just going to go allegedly, that the well dried up and Kim is moving on. And it got me to thinking, though, Kwame, how many relationships start off good? Listen, I don't think anybody trusts Kim. None of us trust Kim. And even though it's sad, are we really surprised of this happening? But how many Kims are there out there? And even more of a question, some of you ought to ask your question this: how many of you have ran into a Kim? And this is a diverse show. Listen, I'm talking to the straights and the gays. Because some of y'all out there done met a gay Kim. Was beautiful, loved on you, but all they wanted was your money. All they wanted was what you could do for them. Let me stop. I'll just say this. Close friends are saying this is going to be an ugly divorce. It's going to be messy. And we'll see how this is. I don't see it ending well. Kim wants full custody, she wants basically joint custody, but full physical custody. FYI, Kroy filed for divorce also. And Kroy wants full custody. Also, allegedly, Kroy wants them to look into all of the financial documents. I smell a bigger picture here, and in my opinion, Kim needs to call Big Papa. And a lot of people, some people said, oh, well, maybe she should go back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This would be a great show. Now, I don't know about you, but as I recall, when Kim left Real Housewives of Atlanta, she didn't leave on a good foot. And as far as we remember, Kroy don't like black people. And that's just all allegedly. Kroy don't like black people. So her going back to Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she still owes Candy money for that song too. This is a mess, and this should be an example of what not to do. Of what not to do. Shout out to the Whitakers. Hey, y'all, welcome. Let's move on to the next what went viral situation. Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro welcomes his 7th child. 79-year-old Robert De Niro. He'll be 80 in August, by the way. Welcomes his 7th child. That's the baby's mama, apparently. Let me just say, first of all, I don't know if y'all are aware. We couldn't get the pictures up, but Robert De Niro is down with the swirl. He likes a little chocolate. He likes a little green tea. He likes a little flavor. And the pictures of the babies, they're beautiful children. Beautiful and talented. The oldest one is an actress. But here's my question to y'all. Is 79 years old too old to be having a kid? You know, they talked about it on the Breakfast Club, and a lot of people are going like, it doesn't matter because he has money. I think parenting is more than just about finances, although finances play a big part. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, congratulations to Mr. De Niro on his 7th child. That is a lot of children. Obviously, he won't get to see the child grow up. I'm not wishing death on him, but let's be honest. He's seen more than he has yet to see. And that's just no shade. We love him. I just think 79 is a little too old and a little selfish, but it just, I mean, obviously the mom is happy. Everybody's getting what they want. Let me see this comment. What did Kwame say? Andy will look out for her. Watch how they handle Kim and watch what they, you know what? Let's just park right here with Andy Cohen, okay? Andy Cohen is God's going to deal with him on Judgment Day. That's what I'll say. Let's move on to the last one, because this is what you call God's blessing. This is what you call karma working on your favor. Recently, Cardi B and Tasha K. Y'all remember Cardi B sued Tasha K and she won that lawsuit against Tasha K? Well, according to Radar Online, you know, the rapper sued her for millions of dollars. And, you know, they made a promise to start garnishing any income from the YouTuber, okay? So in April, Cardi was given legal right to garnish all her properties. If you follow the story, you know, Tasha went to Africa and hid her money somewhere. Then she took it out and all this stuff. Well, the Love and Hip Hop star contacted Google, the owner of YouTube. Oh, it's a pleasure to have y'all. Always a pleasure to have y'all. Listen, Cardi went to Google and said, y'all, I want the money now. And Google said, listen, you are hereby commanded to immediately hold all money, including wages and other property, except what is known to be exempt. She was told that Tasha was owed $9,000 and that she's supposed to be getting that money. In March, Tasha took to Instagram to offer Cardi B an apology, which we know was worth about a coupon for nothing. Okay, that's how much that apology was worth. Listen, to everybody out there, this is a lesson of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And really, don't push your limits and don't push your luck. This story is going to be a story that keeps on giving. I suspect this to go on for some years because Tasha K is going to play cat and mouse with that money. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again because I have to be honest. I hate talking about Tasha K because I think she's a disgusting human being. But since we're on the subject, Tasha K is a disgusting human being. She means no good for anybody except herself. She is pretty close to evil, and she will use you for her greater gain and her greater good. She cares nothing about this lawsuit. All she cares about is the likes and the followers that she's going to gain from this debacle that she has literally entangled herself in. The only thing that I see in this, and I always say it's the same my mom used to say when I was a kid, what profit a man to gain the whole wide world and to lose his soul? I understand that Tasha K, listen, at the end of the day, Tasha K really has nothing. And if the YouTube kingdom, her conglomerate empire falls apart, she'll go back to serving at Chili's or Applebee's because there's no other gift or talent that she has outside of lying and capitalizing and monetizing off of the lies that she tells. Although there is some truth in between it. I feel for Cardi B because this is going to be a stain in her career that will forever follow her. And she's way too talented. She's way too gifted. And she's way too much of that girl, okay, for this to follow her. But nonetheless, it is what it is. So my final thoughts with this, Cardi B, take her for everything. Make sure you get her earrings. Make sure you get her children's trust funds. Take it all. And when you finish, make sure you take her cars. Take everything. Because Tasha K was trying to take you down, girl. And she didn't win. And that's for anybody out there. You know, listen, we live in this world. There's a lot of people. We're all content creators. We're all making great content. But I think, I don't think, but what I know is as a content creator, you have to ask yourself, what is my moral compass? How far am I willing to go to get a like? How far am I willing to go in order to get attention? Because listen, at the end of the day, in my opinion, all attention ain't good attention. She needs to be penniless. The pot that she has to hide under the bed after she pisses needs to be taken. Take the bed. And listen, this is how petty I am. If I were Cardi, I would go to Africa and hire a lawyer in Africa and find a reason, because that's my level of pettiness. But I digress. It's just a lot going on. Y'all, what's the pettiest thing that you've done? I got to think of mine. Here's what we'll do. We're going to take a commercial break, Kwame. We're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. We're going to talk about Black men and mental health. And before that, I'm going to tell you one of the pettiest things that I've done to get back at somebody. But y'all get in the comments. Let me know. What's the pettiest thing you've done? I'll see y'all in 1 and 2. We'll be back. Peace.
This episode is sponsored in part by Bullet and Flight Radio. Get ready to uplift your spirit with Bullet and Flight Radio, the world's leading progressive Christian radio station. Experience the vibrant fusion of gospel house music and a rich medley of inspiration from all musical genres that'll make your heart soar. Join their extraordinary lineup of today's trailblazers, visionaries, and voices that matter, all sharing their stories and wisdom. Stay plugged in around the clock as they broadcast unmissable content 24/7. Your go-to station for all things inspiring. Become a pilot today by visiting bulletandflightradio.com. Bullet and Flight Radio. Your story, our station.
Listen, baby, we are back. That commercial music is a whole vibe. I'll just be back here vibing out. Welcome back, y'all, to the Daryl Walter Show. Can I just say it again? I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And I feel like somebody out there just needs to hear, I love you. I just love and appreciate you. And thank you for tuning in. Listen, we already halfway through the show. I want to share with you what's the pettiest thing that I've done. I had to reach back. This is a good one. I had to reach back into my bag of pettiness. Woo! Okay, so many, many moons ago, a young wee Daryl had a friend who was, I'm going to just tell it because it don't matter anymore. She was married to a minister at the church who turned out to be gay, and he was cheating on her with a man. Let's just get straight to it. There's a whole story behind that involves drama. It involves cheating and lying and guns and everything. Anyways, he cheated. And we were friends and we were talking, and she said, I need to serve him with the papers, but I can't afford to pay a processor. And I just want to get this done. I don't know what to do. I did it. and he was my friend. I served him the divorce papers, and here's the best part: I served him the divorce papers while he was leading praise and worship in my old church in the pulpit. I handed him the divorce papers and walked out. Is that petty? Let me read some of y'all's comments. Listen, let me see. Kwame said one of the pettiest things I've done was after I was at work and my boss's car was on fire. And I went to tell him any kind of attitude with me. It told me to leave alone, so I did. Burn, baby, burn. But thank goodness that we've grown past that level of pettiness, into a better place. Speaking of growth, this month, May, is Mental Health Awareness Month. Did y'all know that? We have. We have grown. You are an entrepreneur. You are a business owner. I am a content creator. I am an entrepreneur, future award winner, talk show host, manifested. And we are going to talk about mental health with Black men. Let's get into it, y'all. So, recent events with Chris Brown. Okay, a little distraction because my arm distracted me. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it's a gun show. Didn't nobody tell me. Okay, let me get back to it. We're going to pray for Kwame Nisha. The recent events with Chris Brown, right? Chris Brown was recently in an altercation with Usher, and we know that Chris Brown has a history. And I know a lot of people were disappointed. A lot of people have their opinions about it. And let's play a little clip. They caught a little clip of Chris Brown in the altercation and kind of getting into it with Usher. Can we play that clip? All right. I don't know if you can make that out. You can take that clip down, Kwame. I don't know if you can make that out, but you can see that Chris Brown is clearly upset, right? And actually, earlier in that day, he had tweeted something to the effect of, "I'm looking to get Cinco de Month." They had an F there. Those interactions got me to thinking about mental health. And you say, "Well, Daryl, why are you thinking about mental health? Chris Brown is crazy. He's on drugs. He's clearly got issues. Chris Brown needs to be canceled." I think that's what some people in my head, that's the response that I got. And the reality is, I don't think Chris Brown needs to be canceled, but I think we need to ask ourselves a real question. Why do we pacify behaviors of others, especially when it comes to Black men? And then it got to me to thinking about some other people. Now, I am to this day unsure why Blueface is famous. I've listened to some of his music, but I know him for his antics between him and Krishan. And I just found this clip of him. Let's look at this clip of him after is the girl's name Chrissy-Ann? I don't know, the baby without a two. First of all, I want them to get rid of that. If y'all don't change the battery in your smoke alarm immediately, please.
What is wrong with you, kid? That's what you gonna do with a newborn baby on the way. Set the house on fire. This bitch is dumb. Look how dumb the bitch is. The bitch tried to turn the smoke detector off. The bitch hopped on the table to turn the smoke detector off. Man, child protective custody gonna have a ball with you. I must say, you making this very too much easily. When you have a kid and you set a fire anywhere in the child's vicinity, can't teach this kind of shit, Kev.
Okay, you can take this video off. You can take it down now. Just give it a pause. And this behavior is rewarded. And he keeps calling her dumb. No, sir, you are dumb. Not only are you dumb, but it leads me back to mental health and how many Black men have issues, unresolved issues, and refuse to get help, and then have the audacity to put the blame on somebody else. And then Brian McKnight. I used to love Brian McKnight. And I think I'm going to have to listen to one last cry to wash off this degenerate Brian McKnight that I'm seeing. Here's Brian McKnight. Now, first of all, let me tell you the story. Many, many moons ago, there was a young girl. Let me read what the Whitaker said. People forget that even though he's a celebrity, he's still a human with mental health issues. You are absolutely right. And in 2023, we have so many, and I'm focusing on Black men in particular. In this particular, on today, I'm focusing on Black men because I feel like a lot of times Black men go under the radar. And what we see as them having an issue, and I'm saying this because I want to help somebody, because you may be around somebody. Somebody may be around you, or you may be in communication or relationship with somebody, and you're wondering why are they acting so crazy? Why are they always belligerent? Why are they always angry when they drink? And a lot of times we don't realize that there are deep-rooted issues. And if you're a Black man out there, you can totally relate to what I'm talking about. There are times that we carry things that nobody else will understand. And a lot of times we act out by drinking. We act out by drugs. We act out through anger. We act out through calling a girl bitches and hoes and putting the blame on her. No, it's her, it's her, it's her. Instead of taking responsibility and owning the part that you played in the catastrophe, or in what you created. Brian McKnight. In case y'all forgot, I had to pull up this old clip just to kind of show you how saucy Brian McKnight is. Now, Brian McKnight recently posted a video where he's showing love to the stepchild he has. And meanwhile, he has his own biological children that he has no relationship with. Black men have been taught not to express their feelings without looking weak, which makes the matter an issue where it makes it even worse. And on top of that, if you show emotion, if you cry, if you admit that you need help, you're labeled gay, you're labeled weak, you're labeled effeminate. And you know, a lot of times I'm here, I realize part of my purpose is just to open that conversation, just to open that dialogue, to say that Black men, this is your cue. It is okay to seek help. It is okay to open up and say, you know what, I need help. Let me help you with this one. It is okay to cry. It is okay to cry. As someone who is the child of a father who couldn't be the father I wanted him to be, to watch Brian McKnight with all of his resources choose not to be a father. Play this clip of Brian McKnight, because I feel like y'all must have forgot who Brian McKnight was. Grab your popcorn, because this is going to be good. Thank you for showing these little pictures of me, Kwame. You listen. That Daryl, my chest is popping. Let's see this clip of Brian McKnight, though, because y'all forgot.
Hey, it's Brian McKnight here. The other day on Twitter, I had an idea about doing an adult mixtape. And I asked everybody on my timeline, I was like, if I had this idea, what subject would you want me to tackle? And there were some varied sort of responses. Most people only want to hear me do one kind of song, but there's been lots of conversations I've had with men, lots of conversations I've had with women, just about other sexual type things that I like to tackle. So I'm in the middle of writing a song, and I'm going to give you a preview of what that song is. And the name of the song is if you're ready to learn. So let me give you what the chorus is. I'm gonna give you a little bit of the track. This is what I say. Let me show you how your pussy works. Since you didn't bring it to me first, I have lots of things to show you. If you're ready to learn, let me show you how your pussy works. Bet you didn't know that it could squirt. I have lots of things to show you. If you're ready to learn. That's what I'm talking about. So let me give you a little bit of the track to give you an idea of what this is going to sound like. Every time you give it up, you leave so unsatisfied. Pointing the finger, the feeling to linger, leave asking questions why. They talk a real good game, but they don't know what a tongue is for. They whine you and dine you, you let them untie you, and leave you wanting more. In my postgrad in sociology, so what I tell you might seem strange. Things you don't know about your physiology, you don't have to be ashamed. Let me show you how your pussy works. Since you didn't bring it to me first, I have lots of things to show you. If you're ready to learn, let me show you how your pussy works. But you didn't know that it is work. I have lots of things to show you. If you're ready to learn. So yeah, that's an idea of what's coming. I'm gonna show you real soon and tell you how you can get it right there for your own. Let me know what you think. Peace.
Brian McKnight, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you how your pussy works. That's somebody's father. I watched the video before I put it up here, and I'm still flabbergasted. Let me just say that right there. I am speechless. Oh, Brian. It very well makes sense since this is the type of music the generation wants to hear. Mental health awareness. Black men and mental health, because let's even talk about the song. I had to let the song play out because honestly, let me just say it. I don't know what the hell Brian was thinking when he came up. Let me show you how it works because you didn't bring it to me first. If that doesn't scream rapist, I don't know what does. Let me show you how it works because you didn't bring it to me first. So here's some of my questions. Why are Black men afraid to seek therapy? Let's just start right there. Ooh, Jesus, I gotta wash it down with some back at one or something. I didn't know he was so cringy. Let me show you how you. What would you do if somebody sent you that song on Valentine's, child? I'd block them immediately. Anyways, I think Black men are scared to go to therapy. One, because it's taboo. It's easier to go to the altar. Listen, I'm disturbed. It's easier to go to the altar and tell your business to a complete stranger than to. It was very disrespectful. It was very disrespectful. And he needs to go to therapy. I mean, because obviously I feel for his children. I really feel for his children. And I feel for the woman that he's married because she's not getting the best of him. And let me just add into there that Brian McKnight's current wife and stepchild. Palm Sunday, baby. Palm Sunday. What are some signs of needing help? Let me throw this out there, okay? As someone who's been in therapy, as someone who's been in counseling, what are some signs of someone needing help? Some signs are they're disassociated, right? They disassociate themselves. They pulled back from the group. You don't hear from them a lot. They're emotionally on a roller coaster. They go from 0 to 60 really fast. You'll notice that they're angry a lot, or their temper has changed, their temperament has changed. Another sign you'll notice, and this is one a lot of people don't realize, but a person, if they're giving away a lot of stuff as if they're not going to be here much longer, that could be a sign of they're thinking about unaliving themselves. Just stuff to think about. You know, with Black men, it's a little different sometimes. What are some signs? Silence. They're silent a lot. Or angry rages. What are some signs you all can think about just to share? You know, because a lot of things, here's what I realize also, a lot of things that we look at as, oh, he's angry, oh, he just has issues, oh, he just needs to get over it, you know, he's just angry because he's got to pay child support, or you know, he's just lazy. This is the good, he's just lazy. A lot of times it's not just a person is lazy, but if somebody is sleeping a lot, if they're always lethargic and they're always kind of like, you know, in a state of just like sleeping a lot and lounging around, that's a sign of depression. That's a sign they may want to talk to somebody. And let me just insert there, as much as I love and support people who go to church, church is not always the answer. And a minister cannot replace a therapist or seeking help or getting the right help that somebody needs. Crazy shift moves are a huge sign, and a huge sign that honestly we pacify a lot. You know, that's why when I looked at Chris Brown, you know, I'm looking at his erratic behavior, and it's like this man is clearly on something, but also and let's just go a step further. We watched him get into an altercation with somebody at the festival in Las Vegas. It is also hereditary. But I will say this. It is hereditary to a certain extent. You know, I think saying it's hereditary sometimes gives us an excuse or a way out to say, you know, well, he's just like his dad. Well, his mama was just like that. A lot of times it is environmental, okay? Meaning that, yeah, a percentage of it could be hereditary, but there's so many things with the environment and how we treat one another and how we treat someone that can affect their mental health. So while it's possible, yes, that's, I believe, and we can look this up and talk about it next week, but there's a small percentage of it that comes hereditary. Okay, yes, daddy was an alcoholic, he was an alcoholic. You know, for me, my struggle, you know, I like my liquor. You know, my daddy liked his liquor. But for me to put a huge portion of the responsibility to say that, well, my father drank, so I drank, is not necessarily absolute, right? Because I have a choice. And also I have my environment around me, you know. And also I realized for me, it's been 45 days since I've had a drink. And I realized that, wow, I actually have the power. I actually have the self-control. Maybe I've been using the excuse of my father being a drinker as a crutch, right? And so a lot, and as this conversation with Black men, the excuse is used, well, my mom was like that, my dad was like that, my granny was like that, so I'm like that. My dad wasn't a good dad, my daddy's daddy wasn't a good dad, so, you know, apple don't fall from the tree is kind of like an excuse and a way out. And I only bring up this conversation because I think it's an eye-opening conversation to take back our power, to take back our control, and say that we are more than our parents. We are more than the circumstances that have been dealt to us. Thank you so much. I can't believe it's 45 days. Listen, I don't want to joke about it too much because I know for some people it's serious, but I just knew I would be at somebody's brunch drinking bottomless mimosas. Because, baby, let me tell you something. One of the things that Daryl has always loved is a brunch with bottomless mimosas. And I just knew I was just going to, but I haven't. I just knew I'd be slurping up dirty martinis, but it ain't happened. So this road that I'm on, it's a new road. And I'll take it, as they say, one day at a time. All right. But yeah, with us as a Black man, I just want us to know that we are so much more and that it's okay to seek the help. It's okay to admit that I can't do this, that I need assistance in doing this. Because the reality is, and listen, Black women, we'll get to y'all this month. We're going to get to y'all. But today with Black men, there is a burden and a responsibility and a burden that is on us sometimes that is invisible to other people. But as a Black man, I know. And if you're out there, know that I know and I understand, we understand. And a lot of people don't get that burden that we carry, that heaviness that we carry, especially after everything that's happened. And I just want to point out, with this month, the importance of mental health, not only within the Black community, but within Black men. Even Ebony K. Williams making the comment about, she dated a bus driver and owning and mediocrity and A's and B's and C's. Go back and watch it. She said all that stuff. But my first thought was, how does all of this wear on somebody who's not meeting up to somebody's standards? And maybe there's many of you out there who are single and maybe you feel like you're not good enough, or I got to work on this, or I need to better myself in that area. There's so many levels when it comes to mental health. You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to men, there's some people who feel like they're not living up to the man that they want to be and they feel like they're supposed to be. If I'm helping, if I'm talking, just type, give me a hand clap or something. Just let me know it's helping you out. Because this is important to me. I started out my journey of bettering myself in mental health and going to therapy 2 years ago. And it's been the best decision that I've ever made because it's allowed me to work through so much. But not only that, it has allowed me to become dependent on how I feel about myself and now how others feel about me, y'all. Listen, my final thoughts, because all of this is important. And can I just say, Brian McKnight has troubled my soul. Because if a man ever sent me a song called Let Me Show, that won't happen because God knows my heart and he knows what I can and cannot handle. But my final thoughts, y'all, listen, I talk about mental health as a Black man, as a Black gay man, as a person of color, because I am my brother's keeper. I am my brother's keeper. And as I think about me, I think about y'all, okay, because we need each other. Listen, for this month in mental health, remember to focus on you. There is nothing wrong with having a healthy selfishness, y'all. That is the most important thing, okay? I want to thank y'all for taking the time to listen to the Daryl Walter Show. It is a delight and it is a pleasure and it is something that I look forward to every Wednesday to come and share my heart with you. Listen, if you have a dream, stay true to it. If you have a vision, stick to it. But most importantly, and most of all, make sure you brush your teeth and brush your tongue, because it don't make sense to have all that vision and dream and you talking to somebody with funky breath. And that's on period, baby. That is on period, okay? Y'all have a great week, and I'll see y'all next week. Oh, keep your name on the list with us. All right, peace.
If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Pyro Media Network's YouTube channel for more awesome content. Plus, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go live or upload new videos. Visit pyromedianetwork.com today, not just to check out our incredible roster of talented creatives, but also to gain access to exclusive bonus material available only to our Pyro fam. Show your support for this Black-owned indie network by donating today. Help us keep igniting brands everywhere.